All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Obstacle here. Hey, listen, this is going to be your Monkey Minute. It is Sunday, July 31st, 2022. And man, the year is flying by. We're already through the month of July, and God knows what's ahead of us in the months to come. But without further ado, let's hop on over to the board here. Just take a look at, we've got about 7 articles we're going to look at that are important. The mainstream media is not going to be talking about, and we just need to kind of have a beat on what's going on. So, all right, check this out. Now, this is from the Watchers.com website, or Watchers.news, sorry. But they've got several floods and mudslides, leaving at least 53 people dead in Iran. That just took place yesterday. As you can see, it's pretty devastating, and not uncommon for that this time of year, but it looks like they've had 8 days of flash floods and mudslides. So, okay, away from Iran, over to Israel while we're in the Middle East. And now check this out. Israel basically is halting all of their F-35 training because they have faulty ejection seats. It looks like the entire F-35 fleet right now is currently grounded from the latest that I had read as they try to get this situation mitigated. So not uncommon for that to happen from time to time where they find a faulty something, and they just have to go in and do a quick change out, but it shouldn't take them offline very long at all. So anyway, eyes on that, because that does affect the U.S. as well as the other countries, partner nations, and Israel is one of those. So, okay, over to this one. They can't let him back in. Now, this is about Trump. This is basically an op-ed over on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden. He actually does a fantastic job pulling together articles and writing them as well. And so this one is interesting, though, because we've said this many, many times. They cannot allow Trump to get back in. Think about what the World Economic Forum said as soon as he got out of office. They fought him for 4 years trying to get him out of office. But he wasn't up just against the deep state. He's up against the World Economic Forum, UN, NATO, everybody and their brother was against it because he is not working to their agenda. In fact, he is working counter to their agenda. So do know that all hell will break loose in 2024 leading up to that election. They will do anything and everything. I would imagine nothing is off the table when it comes to keeping this guy out of office. So we got our hands full and a work cut out for us, folks. All right, so onward and upward. Let's get over to this one. Now, this is actually the Times of Israel, a little interesting article on it. It's a data point. When there's an exiled oligarch in Israel, and he basically has come out and said that Putin doesn't want to annex Ukraine, doesn't want to make it part of Russia. He wants to destroy it. There ain't but one reason why you would do that, because that place is very rich in materials that he could certainly use, like lithium, for example. But there is a bunch of commodities, including the grains and everything else that are going on in that country that he could certainly be mining if he were to capture it or annex it. The fact that he wants to destroy it is because our deep state is knee-deep in that country, and they have been since the 1940s, mid-1940s. Right after World War II, and he knows it, and that's what he's doing. He's basically taking out the assets that the U.S. has had in play right on his border for quite some time. So this is kind of a telling tale, isn't it? All right, on over to this one. Now, we've been tracking Fancy Pants Pelosi as she is defiant and heading to Taiwan. So far, China has not done anything, but I wouldn't rule it off the table yet. Let's see if they're just pounding their chest or if they're willing to actually see it through. But she did sneak in. I've been watching her flights. She snuck in overnight, rolled into China at about 2:29 a.m. And you can see this is her aircraft actually departing Guam as it goes dark. And she flies on into Taiwan. So off radar right here. So we don't have anything showing her in Taiwan, but she is in Taiwan. I'll bet money on it right now. We do track the flights all the way from from DC all the way there. And this is a little 737 blue and white, kind of hard to hide. Doesn't have any defense mechanisms on it, to my knowledge. It is just a dignitary bird. So I imagine they were accompanied by fighters, and Defiant just rolls right in. So let's see. We'll keep an eye on it and see if they do anything about it. All right. On over to this one as we're talking about China. Now, you may have heard me mention in Friday's sit rep that they had a giant rocket debris coming back into Earth. And at that time, it was actually forecasted to come in over the United States. Well, that did not happen. Luckily, the Earth is 72% water, so the probability of these things hitting land is a lot less and more likely to go into water, which this did. So that was a 25-ton Chinese rocket debris section. So give that some thought. That is massive. And basically, it flew into the Indian Ocean and was a big nothing. But nonetheless, you have to keep your eyes on this stuff. As I've showed you, the amount of debris that is floating around our planet 24/7 is a little concerning, to say the least. So, okay, now we've been talking about failed states. This time we're going to go down to Argentina. This government is basically collapsing, and it's because people are refusing to work amid major subsidy cuts. So it looks like that these protests have erupted in Buenos Aires over the past 90 days and continue to go day after day after day because they are basically taken away from their social programs. So like I have been showing you, we've got countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Yemen, Somalia, Argentina, Brazil, all of them right now on the brink, just kind of on that bubble of collapsing. So we'll keep our eye on it, but this is a theme that's going around the world right now with these countries that are basically failed states, and that's going to increase social unrest, and it's also going to drive migration, which is part of their plan. So, all right, well, listen, that's going to be our Monkey Minute for today. Again, stay frosty, keep that powder dry, and let's go, Brandon. God bless. Monkey out.